I served as a police officer in the Denver metro area for over a decade, and I was actually one of the officers in charge of forensic accident reconstruction on the west side of the Denver metro area. And as someone who often responded to accidents from fender benders to serious and fatal accidents, driver and pedestrian safety has long been important to me, and that's why I'm so proud to see so many of the different vehicle safety provisions included in today's title. From tire regulatory reform to studies on flammability standards to the Magnus White and Safe Streets for Everyone Act. And I'm confident that the good work of this committee, bipartisan work of this committee, is going to help protect the next generation of Americans as the auto industry continues to innovate. But safe vehicles also need safe roads. And so while we're working on vehicle safety here, I'm also proud of the work that's happening in adjacent areas like the surface transportation reauthorization, because that's a top priority for my constituents that I wanted to take just a moment to touch on. After 8 years of mismanagement in Colorado under the Democrats, my state's roads are some of the worst in the nation. We have the 6th worst urban roadways and the 4th worst rural roadways in the nation because the ruling Democrats in Colorado have failed to adequately invest in core roadway maintenance and safety, and that impacts all of the vehicle safety things that we're working on here today if we don't have safe roads. Basic road infrastructure shouldn't be a partisan issue. Critical transportation corridors like I-25, Highway 85, and I-76 in my district serve as economic lifelines for families and farmers and employers and jobs. But commuters and businesses face worsening congestion, repeated vehicle damage, longer travel times, and an increasing risk of serious accidents. On average, my constituents in Colorado are facing an estimated $1,900 a year in increased cost to repair their vehicles as a result of bad roadways. Additionally, audits conducted by the Colorado Department of Transportation itself find millions of taxpayer dollars unaccounted for, as well as statutory violations and funding disbursements. These are basic benchmarks of reliability and trust that the state has failed to meet time and again. And so that's why federal legislation like today's vehicle safety bill and other adjacent efforts are so important, because it allows the federal government to fill in those gaps left by states and provide common sense guardrails for implementing federal dollars for road infrastructure and making sure that the safe vehicles that are being considered today aren't damaged on poor roads.